Right now, at every match of this World Cup, 12 cameras are tracking 29 points on every player's body, 50 times a second. Knees, shoulders, the tip of every boot. Inside the ball itself, there's a sensor, firing 500 times a second, announcing exactly where it is and exactly when it was kicked. The ball has a battery now. Someone on the staff has to charge the World Cup ball before kickoff. And when a striker runs through and scores, a machine already knows whether the goal counts before any human being in the stadium has finished blinking. Football, the most argued about game on earth, quietly handed its biggest decisions to a computer. And the story of how that happened begins with two mistakes so famous they have names. Wembley, 1966. The World Cup final. England and West Germany. Tied deep in extra time. Geoff Hurst turns and hammers a shot. It smashes the underside of the crossbar, bounces straight down, and spins back out. Goal or not? The ball has to fully cross the line and no one can tell. The Swiss referee can't. So he walks over to his linesman, a man named Tofik Bahramov, who nods. Goal. England go on to win the World Cup, the only one they've ever won. Here's the detail that should stay with you. The referee, Gottfried Dienst, admitted for the rest of his life that he never knew whether that ball crossed the line. The man who decided the World Cup final was guessing. 60 years later, Germans still argue it never went in. The English still swear it did. Nobody will ever know. For most of football's history, that was the deal. The game ran on the honest guesswork of a man with a whistle and a man with a flag. Eyes, instinct, and whatever they could see through a crowd of bodies at full sprint. Everyone accepted the lie because there was no alternative. Then, in 2010, the lie collapsed on live television. England versus Germany again, this time in the World Cup knockouts. Frank Lampard shoots from distance. Crossbar. The ball slams down a clear half a metre behind the line and bounces back out. Hundreds of millions of people watch it happen in high definition. Every replay shows it instantly. The ball was so far in that it almost looks like a joke, and the goal is not given. Because the four officials, the only humans whose opinion counted, were also the only people on the planet who didn't see it. That afternoon did something no committee ever could. It made the old deal impossible to defend. Within 2 years, football's lawmakers approved goal line technology. By the 2014 World Cup, cameras decided whether the ball crossed the line. By 2018, video referees could rewind reality itself. And by 2022, the machine was no longer just checking the referee's work. It was watching the game on its own. Because here's the thing about the system running this month. It doesn't watch football the way you do. It doesn't really watch anything. It rebuilds the match as data, a digital twin of the game. 22 skeletons of 29 glowing joints each, refreshed 50 times a second, around a ball that reports its own position 500 times a second. When a pass is struck, the machine knows the exact frame of the kick and the exact position of every attacker's kneecap relative to every defender's heel. If someone is offside, it flags it in seconds and renders the verdict as a 3D animation for 80,000 people. Human referees still confirm the call, but the measurement, the seeing, belongs to the machine now. And the machine sees things no human ever could. Qatar, 2022. Japan versus Spain. Japan's Kaoru Mitoma chases a ball rolling over the byline and cuts it back at the last instant. To every eye in the stadium, it's out. The referee says out. Every replay says out. Every photo says out. Then the goal line camera delivers its ruling. A few millimeters of the ball's curve, the part bulging over the painted line, never left the field. The goal stands. Japan win. And Germany, in that moment, are eliminated from the World Cup by a measurement no eyeball on earth could have made. Sit with the irony for a second. The country that lost the 1966 argument, the country that benefited when Lampard's goal was missed in 2010, was finally knocked out by the truth itself. Football had spent 60 years arguing about lines. The machine ended the argument in one frame. So now there are two camps, and you've heard both. One says technology ruined football, killed the flow, killed the joy. The other says it finally made the game fair, and fairness is worth any price. Here's why both of them miss the point. What actually changed isn't accuracy. It's what a goal is. A goal used to be a fact you witnessed. The ball hits the net and joy detonates, instantly, 80,000 people at once, because seeing was believing. Now a goal is a verdict you wait for. Watch it this month. The ball goes in, the stadium erupts, and then, a beat later, every head turns to the referee. Did it count? Fans have learned to celebrate twice. Once with their body, once with permission. And there's a quieter cost. That wrong goal in 1966 produced 60 years of conversation. Books, documentaries, physics arguments at 2 a.m, 2 entire nations bonded by one beautiful grudge. The correct call in 2022 produced silence. There's nothing to argue about. There's a measurement. Case closed. The machine didn't take the goal away. It took the argument. And the argument, it turns out, was half the love. Being wrong together, certain together, furious together, was never a flaw in the game. It was the game, continuing after the whistle, at dinner tables, for decades. So this month, when a goal goes in, try watching the humans instead of the ball. Watch the player's eyes snap to the referee. Watch a stadium learn to hold its breath between the net rippling and the screen confirming. And when the animation shows a striker's shoulder 2 centimeters past the last defender, remember that within living memory, this exact decision belonged to one man, guessing in front of the whole world. The machine is never wrong. We're still finding out what that costs.